183,894. That is the amount of signatures that the Battlefield 2042 petition currently has as of recording this video, and it's only going up by the second. So I'm sure most of you have heard of the petition going around for Battlefield 2042 asking EA to refund the game to everybody that feels as though they have been cheated, lied to, and pretty much scammed out of their money when they purchased Battlefield 2042. So said petition started off about a month ago and has amassed obviously quite a few signatures of players, customers, or just general gamers that feel as though Battlefield 2042 is the worst that the gaming industry has to offer and that things need to change. Now, I wanted to give my opinion on this petition. So the optimist in me wants to believe that EA will do the right thing and eventually refund people that want a refund because they don't see this game going anywhere. They feel as though the game was released poorly, which honestly is quite an understatement. But regardless of that, so people want refunds, and understandably, the marketing team did a fantastic job at hyping people up, but the game failed to deliver that said hype. So yeah, like I was saying, I want to believe that EA will do the right thing and refund people that want it, and that they will put the time and effort in fixing the game, even though I don't think this game can actually be saved with how bad of a reputation it has now. Some people are never going to pick up the game no matter how much work EA and DICE put into, number one, fixing the game, and number two, releasing post-launch content, which, by the way, has been delayed. It's funny how they just decide on a whim to delay seasonal content, but they didn't want to delay the game for some reason. It's really, really weird. But anyways, do I actually think that EA are going to refund people the money they spent for the games if they are way past the refund window, depending on what platform you're on? No, I don't think EA is that kind-hearted. I don't think they're that kind of company. They swim in negative PR. It's almost as if it's their life force. They feed off that shit, off that negative PR. So while this petition is a nice thing to see in the gaming industry, not only for Battlefield 2042 and in regards to EA, but for the gaming industry as a whole, that gamers want to start seeing change. Like, developers and publishers are getting way too comfortable releasing MVPs, and by MVPs I don't mean most valuable player or product, I mean minimum viable product. The least amount of effort they can put into something and call it completed, and then churn out and sell to people for a ridiculous asking price for what they're putting on offer. So they've been stripping away slowly at what a game has to offer and putting the minimum they can put in there to sell it as a complete product. But I think gamers are starting to, fight back because it's gotten too much. There has been so little effort put into a lot of games in recent memory, and people are sick of it, understandably so. Gaming is one of the only industries that doesn't really have any laws in regards to, actually releasing something that functions for a certain amount of time, that is considered a usable product. Like, the gaming industry is pretty much just unregulated. It's release whatever the fuck you want, and they have these wild policies that prevent you from getting refunds, even though in certain cases, like for example the 2-hour Steam window, so if you played less than 2 hours of game, you can request a refund. I think it's within the first 30 days or something. If you spent, for example, those first 2 hours trying to troubleshoot a game because it simply does not function, like a lot of people had that issue with Battlefield 2042, myself included. Like, the first day I started playing, you were getting persistent data errors out the asshole, and I probably ended up playing like more than 2 hours, but a lot of that was due to the fact that I couldn't get into games. My settings were constantly getting reset, which they still are to this day, by the way. I think I'm at 17 settings resets now. Even though I saved them, it's fucking annoying, and it just shows how little of a shit they give about Battlefield 2042 if they can't even find and fix simple problems like that, among other issues, by the way. It just shows how woefully incompetent, and yes, DICE at this point is just flat out incompetent, and it's not only EA's fault anymore. I know everybody likes painting EA as the bad guys, and so do I, trust me, but at this point I don't think the blame lies solely on EA. Now, the petition was picked up by Newsweek, I believe. I'll leave a link to the petition in the description down below if you guys want to go sign it for yourselves, which I do encourage you to do so. So, big news outlets starting to pick up on this petition is kind of forcing EA to acknowledge that it exists, because for the past month, with like less signatures and less exposure on that petition, EA can just say they never really heard about it, or they didn't even know or don't acknowledge its existence. But now with big news outlets picking it up, it's kind of going to put EA in a corner with, like, people are going to start asking them questions, and so are their shareholders. Like, these people invest good money into EA for them to provide them with, one, products that they can sell to increase their revenue shares. And those investors and shareholders are going to be asking questions like, what are you guys doing to damage control this? How is this going to affect our bottom line? And they're going to have to come up with some answers or some form of action plan to fix this. Not only fix Battlefield 2042, but fix future game releases that they might be currently shitting the bed on. So we don't know what's coming down the pipe for EA, but chances are, like, most of their other releases in the coming future would suffer a similar fate to Battlefield 2042 in terms of, you know, very little effort for what the customer is paying for. Now, there is one little caveat here, or actually a couple. So the petition was started by Satoshi Nakamoto, who is, as far as I recall, the inventor or creator of Bitcoin. Let me just double check that real quick. So yeah, apparently it's a pseudonym who penned the original Bitcoin white paper and is the identity credited with inventing the Bitcoin itself. So I don't know why the person decided to use such a pseudonym to create this petition. Is it because they're an insider in EA and DICE, or they're an ex-developer that don't want their name to be public yet until this petition has reached a certain threshold? Don't really know. And also, when the petition first launched, they said that they had a lawyer ready to take on the case. But as of reading the website or the petition right now, it says that if the petition receives 50,000 signatures or more, they will then reach out to some of the best class action lawyers in the country to evaluate a case against DICE and EA. So a couple of just small changes here, but I would be weary of sending this person some money. I know some people were saying they were donating to the cause, but just, you know, sign a petition, make your voice heard in form of signature. Don't let this die down and see where it goes. Hope for the best, but expect for the worst, because we are talking about EA here, and we all know that EA are, well, yeah, they're EA. We'll leave it at that. But anyways, let me know what you think about this petition in the comment section down below. Again, link down there for you to go sign it for yourselves. And just to give you a short update here, I'm just going to refresh the petition page, and it is now at 183,976. So it's up, what, 100 and something signatures in the time that I recorded this video. So yeah, it is gaining traction pretty fast, and I'm curious to see where it's going to end up going. But yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.